All right then, so now we are at the final step of our UI design. So I'm gonna close all these things. Let me close all. Okay, so I'm going to collapse everything and let me open this app and dashboard routes. I'm gonna bring it inside this page.tsx. This is the place where we are displaying the store name and everything, right? So uh inside over here, now what I need to do is, I don't want to display all those things. I just want to display the stuffs like this: total revenue, sales, and everything. So let's go ahead and do that now. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to delete this because I don't need that over here, and I'm going to delete it over here, this as well as, right? So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a division. I'm going to bring a division which is going to flex column. Okay, inside this division I'm going to create one more division which is going to be flex 1, and space y it's going to be 4, and padding is going to be 8, and padding top it's going to be 6. And inside here I'm going to bring the heading and separators. So basically that is going to be, the heading is going to be the description and the dashboard, and the title is going to be overview of your store, and we're going to bring the separator from the add components UI, right? So that should bring the dashboard something like this, right? So then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a div with the 4 different columns. Create a div with 4 different columns, and inside here I'm going to bring a card which is going to be card. Okay, so we haven't added the card, so let's go ahead and add the card now. So add the card into your admin port. So let me open up and let me bring this and let me paste it over here. npm npx shatcn ui latest add. Okay, it is added now. So right after here I'm just going to bring the card add components, and for that I'm just going to say column span. It's called span 2. It should take the complete 2 out of 4 columns. It should occupy the 2 columns. So column header is going to come from this column header. Of course it's going to be flex item center justify between flex row, right? And inside here I'm just going to say card title from at UI components, which is going to be the total revenue, and it's going to have the class name as text sm and font medium. Save the changes. This is how that should looks like. And then right after the card title I have to bring the $, which is coming from our lucid icon, just like this. Okay, save it. That should display the $, right after that. Then I have to bring the card content. So right after this card header I'm going to bring the card content, which is coming from there, and that card content is going to have a division of this class name, which is going to be text to excel, and I'm just going to say font, which is going to be bold, and here I'm just going to say 22, something like this. So which is going to be the like this. Otherwise what we can do is, we can simply cut it and use the formatter from our library files. Just we have to format it and supply the number into it, something like this. So that is going to give you the $22 or something, but this time we are not going to hard code it. We are just going to give you the, we are just going to get the sales and everything over here, right? So let's go ahead and start doing the sales and everything. Okay, so first so we have to bring the sales and the product as well as. So I'm just going to copy this card, I'm going to paste it one more time, and I'm going to paste it one more time. This time this is going to be not total revenue, this is going to be the sales, and here we're going to display the sales count, how many sales that we happened, which is going to be plus 24 for the time being, something like this. And this is going to be the products, and here we are just going to display the product count, something like plus something like this over here. You can see, we should be able to see this. Now this should occupy the column 1 and it should occupy the column 1, so something like that. Okay, so then right after here, now we have to bring the original data over here. So in order to bring that, so we have to fetch all those necessary total revenue, total sales and everything. So let's go ahead and get the total revenue first. So over here, collapse everything. I'm going to bring the new folder called actions. Then I'm going to get the total revenue. So let's say get total revenue dot ts. Okay, so what we are going to do is, so basically I'm just going to create a function. So export const get total revenue is equals to a callback function, and that function, of course, it is going to be an asynchronous function. So this function, of course, it is going to take the store ID as the parameter, because using that store ID only we can get that. Then I need to fetch the orders, complete orders first. So I'm just going to fetch the orders first completely from there by using these way get docs collection doc storage and finally orders type. So now we have the orders data. Since we have the orders data in our hand, now I need to figure it out how many orders are paid, because we don't have to calculate the orders for non-paid ads. So we have to find out how many orders it's being paid. So filtering through the order, get that order and find out which order is paid. Now then I need to find out the total revenue. So in order to do that, so cost is equals to total revenue is equals to paid orders dot reduce, open it. I'm gonna get the total and as well as the order, enter, and here const order total is equals to order dot order items dot reduce, open it, order sum comma item, open it. Here I'm just going to say if the item dot quantity is there and if it is not equals to undefined, which means then we need to return the order sum plus item dot price multiplied by item dot quantity, right? If not, else, if not, simply return the order sum plus item dot price, right? Or else at the end over here, I'm just going to simply return it as a 0, and at the end over here, I'm going to simply return it as a 0, and finally I just need to return the total plus order total. So that is going to give us the final total of the, so we are trying to find out the total overall revenue for the single product, and we are calculating the total revenue for the entire products, whatever the thing which is being successfully added by the user, right? So this is how you should calculate the total revenue, and you should use this total revenue inside over where, inside over here. So from this params, we're going to pass this store ID and we are going to get the total revenue, and we're going to use that total revenue over here, total revenue. So save these changes. Now that should display the paid total revenue is $26. That is what we are getting over here. Now all I have to do is to get the total sales. So I'm going to create one more file called get total sales.ts, and this is what we have to do, orders, right? So we are trying to get the complete orders and we are trying to find out its size, order data dot size, that is going to return the order size. So this type is not necessary. Okay, so what we did is we just created a function get the total sales count, and we are getting the complete orders details reference over here, fetching the complete orders collection, and then just returning the sizes of it, return the count. So I can use that over here, const total sales is equals to await get total sales, and then you just need to supply the params.store id into it. You will get the total sales and use that total sales over here. Total sales, save these changes, and you should get the total sales count over here. And then just exactly the same ways, I'm just going to give this details over, copy and paste it, and then I'm just going to say get total products. This time, instead of the stores orders, I'm just going to change all those orders into products. So products, instead of get total sales, this time this is going to be get total products. So save those changes, and let's get back over here, and let me copy and paste it over here, and this is going to be get total products, and this is going to be total products. All right, and then I'm just going to supply that over here like total products. Save it, and that should gives you the total count of your products. So now we have the total count of our products, right? So then what we have to do is, so I have to bring the revenue by this. So I have to bring this revenue by month wise, and revenue by payment status wise, and revenue by category wise, and revenue by order wise. So let's go ahead and do that now. So what I'm going to do is, right after here, first, this is the place where we are going to bring that revenue. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it, and this is going to occupy the complete column. This time this is going to be revenue by month wise. So let's, if I save these changes, this is how it will looks like. This is the place where we need to bring the card. Inside the card content, instead of this division, we're gonna bring that the chart, which we are going to have it over here, right? So for that, I'm gonna use this package called recharts. Okay, so let's go ahead and install this. Clear npm install recharts, hit the enter. So that is going to download this complete recharts. So if you wish to know much more about the recharts, if you click over here, and you should able to understand how the recharts, everything has been working. So we can go through their documentations over here, but in this case we can directly jump because we don't have enough time, because we need to finish it as much as fast now. In this is going to be a reusable component, and in going to create it inside over here, I'm just going to say overview.tsx. okay, and this time this is going to overview, it's going to get the some sfc, and let's say overview div overview, and this time it is going to take a prop overview of any specific data, which is going to be overview props, and it's going to get the data into it. And then you have to import a specific charts from over here. So let me import all those things. Import bar chart, responsive container, x-axis and y-axis, right? So what I'm going to do is, instead of this, I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to bring the responsive container, enter. Inside this responsive container, of course, the width is always going to be the 100% of this width, 100%, and the height, of course, it is going to be 350 pixels, not more than that. And then I'm going to bring the bar chart, close it, and supply the data with the data what we are getting inside. Then we have to supply the x-axis. So x-axis self-closing tag. Inside here, the data key, of course, it is going to be the name, is going to be the data key which we will create, and the stroke color is going to be hash #F. Then font size, of course, it is going to be 12, and the tick line, which it's going to be false, and the axis line, it is going to be false. These are just the styles, and I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it one more time, and this time this is going to be y-axis. Data key, of course, it is going to it doesn't going to have the data key, delete it. And the stroke, of course, is going to be same font and false. This is also going to be false. And at the end we just need to say tick formatter, which is going to be, it's going to get the value. Then you should customize that value as a string, because it will take these strings only. And right after here, I need to get the bar. I need to display the bar based on the data key of total. We're going to have the total, that is going to be the data key. And fill color, of course, I'm going to say hash 84884B7 4E. This is the color code. And the radius, which is going to be an array 4,4,0,0. This is the border radius. Okay, this is supposed to be a string. So save these changes, and then let's bring that overview, where we need to bring that overview. Instead of this, I'm going to bring that overview, add components overview over here. So save the changes. Now we should able to see the chart, but we don't able to see the data, which is completely empty because we don't have any data. So what I need to do is I have to calculate the revenue. We have to get the graph total revenue by month wise. So that's what we are going to do now. So what I'm going to do is, over here I'm going to create a new file, and then I'm just going to say get graph total revenue .ts. okay, so here I'm going to create an interface which is going to, for that specific graph data, then export const get graph total revenue is equals to async, and we're going to supply the store id as a string. Open it. Please make sure that it should not have any spelling mistakes on the store id over here. Make sure that fine. Then now we have to fetch the orders and calculate the main or paid orders and everything, just exactly what we did over there. So let's import everything. All right, fine. This is fine, perfectly. Now we have the paid orders, right? So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to calculate the monthly revenue. So I'm going to create the monthly revenue, and I'm going to keep the key as string and the number value as a number, right? Just like this. Then for const order of paid orders, so I'm going to get one by one order out of the paid order. Then I'm going to calculate the month from which, from the order dot created at. From the created at, I'm just going to convert it into to date, then to local date string of what, en hyphen us. Then I can get the month in a short form, right? So say this changes, and at the end over here, if we do have the month, then check if the month is defined or not. So I'm just going to say let revenue for order is equals to 0. Then for const item of order dot order items, from the order items we're going to get one by one. Then I'm going to calculate if the item dot quantity, if it is not equals to undefined, which means we do have the order items, then we are going to say revenue for order plus equals to item dot price multiplied with item dot quantity. Else we just need to say revenue or for order plus equals to item dot price. something like that. Then once we have that complete for loop, this for loop completed, I'm just going to say monthly revenue of this specific month, whatever the month that we calculated, if it is equals to bracket monthly revenue of the month, otherwise we can keep it as 0 plus revenue for that order, right? So this is how we will calculate that. Then we have to map those each and every month with that, just like this. So I'm just going to say month map, which is going to key. January is going to 0, February, March, April, everything. We're going to map it, everything just like that. Then I'm going to update the graph data, right? After here, we need to update the graph data. Enter. So const graph data, which is going to be graph data. Open it, equals to objects dot key object come on, object dot keys, which is going to be the month map, that is going to be the key. So for I'm going to get the map function to map each month name with the value property as an object name. Of course, it's going to be the month name. Then total, of course, it is going to be the monthly revenue of the month name. If it doesn't have that, then we're gonna assign it to 0. And finally, what we are going to say is return graph data. Save the changes, and now I have to get those total revenue by supplying by monthly revenue. So over here, I'm going to get that monthly graph revenue from this total get graph total revenue. Then I'm going to supply this for this overview, which is going to have the data, which is going to be the monthly graph revenue. Once you save the changes, and you should be able to see that chart over here. See, on the May month, we having for out of $28, we have $26 of sales over here, right? So that is displaying how exactly we wanted it to be. So just exactly the same way, what we have to do is I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it, and this is going to be revenue by payment status. So what I'm going to do is, so just exactly the same stuff, payment status wise, we have to calculate the order payment status. So just exactly what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this. So then I'm just going to say get total revenue by order status.ts. All right, that's the thing. And just exactly the same way, we have to do the same thing, but this time what we are going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste it, and then I'm just going to alter it. Okay, so we are trying to fetch the data and we are fetching the status of that revenue. So I just keep it, instead of month revenue, I just kept it status revenue. And for each of the orders and orders data, we are trying to find out whether the orders is paid. If it is paid, I'm going to change this to paid. If it is not paid, I'm going to keep it as a not paid. So if we do have the status, then we are finding the revenue for each and every order item, and we are converting into this, mapping it with that specific status over here, and we are making the key for paid is going to be 0, not paid is going to be 1. Then we are updating the graph data, just exactly what we did over here for the month. We're gonna do that same thing for these two status alone, right? So save these changes, and over here what I'm going to do is I'm gonna copy this and paste it, and this is going to be get graph get orders payment status total revenue. This is going to be order status total revenue. I'm going to supply that order status total revenue where right after over here. Save these changes, and this is supposed to be column 1, just like that. So now you should able to see the paid and the not paid order status over here. So now all we have to do is to just exactly the same stuff we have to do for order status graph revenue, category wise revenue as well as. So let's go ahead and do the same stuff now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste it. This time this is going to be 2, and this is going to be the revenue by this is going to be revenue by category, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this, and I'm just going to rename this get total revenue by category, enter. And this time we are going to get the category total revenue by category wise. Okay, so just exactly what we are going to do is we are going to find out the total revenue by the category wise over here, just exactly the same stuff what we did. So